Day 8, the writing challenge. Also, we're going to talk about cook, cook kit, cook kit. So this is all my cooking gear when I go camping. Coffee, coffee mug, coffee maker. You put coffee in here, put hot water in here, make coffee. Pretty simple. That's a titanium cup. You don't need one. I've had it for years, so I use it. Okay, we'll work our way towards fire. So, alongside my coffee mug, I just got some basic utensils, a big spoon, spatula, a spork, and a little scraper brush thingy for cleaning up. Alright. My plate is a frisbee in a Gator. If you're ever looking for a good plate frisbee. It's a cutting board. It's a plate. It's also a frisbee. So you get all kinds of options when you bring that along. Pardon. This is fuel for my stove. You'll see that in a sec. These are my actual pots and pans, but my stove is in here. You'll see that in a sec. So I just have a fry pan and a pot. I just washed this one, FYI. I've had these things for years. It comes with also another smaller pot, but I don't see the point of carrying that many things. Honestly, sometimes I don't even bring the fry pan because it feels silly. But a good set of cookware, right? Okay. Probably the most important thing for your cook kit is your stove. So this is where I'm going to talk the most. The other things are pretty self-explanatory. This is an MSR Whisper Light, non-international edition. So it runs off white gas, which is what's in my bottle. White gas is like Coleman fuel. You can find it pretty much at every single like big box Midwestern store ever, and I live in the Midwest, so that's pretty convenient. But any place you can probably find camping supplies, Myers, Walmart, that kind of thing. You should be able to find this stuff. It's very volatile, just FYI. You can use it to start a fire, but be careful. You don't need a lot. I've been using these MSR stoves for a very long time, over 20 years. Advantage, refuelable fuel bottle. I can go to the store and buy more fuel, fill it up, done. Disadvantage, you still got to find the fuel. It isn't as convenient as butane, where you just screw it on, usually has a self-igniter, and you go. The reason I don't really use butane is just because of the canisters. I like this system better. I think that's just an experience thing, more than it is necessary that like I would tell you not to use the canisters. So that's why I have an MSR Whisper Light stove. I don't really know where I was going truly with that, but use what you're comfortable with. Just because I use this doesn't mean you guys have to go out there and buy one. If you already have a stove, use that. I have a little just alcohol stove that you can literally take high proof alcohol or denatured alcohol, a few other things, and just use that. And it's this little manual stove. So use what you're comfortable with, but I prefer the Whisper Light. This is a wind block for the stove and then also a heat reflector that you can put underneath of it. They're just made out of like a thin aluminum, but thicker than aluminum foil. So you can kind of fold them out. You do this kind of thingy with it. But basically, your cook kit is going to come down to a lot of just like, what are you actually going to be cooking that weekend, whatever your trip is, right? If you want to make coffee, you want to make breakfast, you want to do all kinds of different things, boil water, whatnot. Like this, obviously, setup is going to get you there. If you just plan on making sandwiches, like obviously bring your frisbee plate. I would still bring stuff to make coffee with me, but maybe you're also just planning to eat lunch a lot on the road and things like that. So this is a modular system. You can bring less, you can bring more, even depending what kind of camping you're doing. So this was a quick rundown of my cooking setup that I use while camping. So I hope you at least learned something. Maybe you got some ideas of what you should use. I know this is a very basic overview of what was going on, but that's the beauty of this setup. It's basic. And the worst case scenario in most cases, the worst case scenario usually comes down to the fact that you might just have to go to the store and pick something up if you forgot it. So, just take it as you will. Keep it simple. Use stuff that you're familiar with. Don't light yourself on fire. And that's cooking in a nutshell with more. Not really. We just talked about the gear, but we'll cook soon. All right. Thanks for being here. I will make a quick mileage update right after this. I believe we just rolled over literally 1,000 miles for the challenge week. So, as we go into week 2 of the challenge, we're going to keep on riding. Dad's not here this week, so I'll have a little more time in the evenings, so I might do a couple small rides, and we'll keep getting at it. All right, I think it's out now. All right, mileage update. Peace. All right. 1,009 1,000.9 miles for the challenge. Puts us at 29,653 odometer. All right. We will see you guys tomorrow.